Just Incredible here with a Mega Man X2 speedrun tutorial video on Counter Hunter stage number 2, or as we know in the US version, Serges. This tutorial is going to be a little bit different than some that I've done in the past. Two main reasons. Number one, I will be splitting this tutorial into 3 different parts. Part 1 will be the stage before the elevator skip. Part 2 will be the elevator skip and the remainder of the stage. And Part 3 will be for the Serges boss fight. And another difference is that I'll be using visual aids to illustrate what to do in the stage, and also illustrate some key points in stage navigation. So, on with the tutorial. Okay, I pause buffered so I can go ahead and bring up the first illustration. Okay, as you see here, this is a map of the first part of the underwater section. And I also have these lines are X's intended path of movement. And you also see some numbers and some little notes on what to do at each particular spot on the map. And starting with instruction number 1. As you teleport in, you want to hold charge and L switch 3 times to get to your speedrunner. Now this applies if you're using default controls like I am. And I've been using default controls for 20 years and I haven't changed them. So if you have changed your button configuration in your option mode, you will have to adjust this accordingly. But it's very simple. As you teleport in, hold charge, L switch 3 times to get to burner. And you're going to be charging the burner up as you go. Like so. Now, as you start, you're going to dash off the starting platform. As you fall, you're going to hold the right wall. Don't grab the wall. And once you reach the blue number 1 there on this map, you're going to release your charge rush burner. At the end of the rush burner, you're also going to dash and shoot a burner shot, and it's going to take out a fish that'll be blocking your path, and you'll end up at that blue number 2 on this image. So that's what we're going to do first. Next, from this point, you're going to dash right off that ledge again and shoot to take out another fish in your path. And you're going to end up at point 3, and then you're going to dash jump, intentionally hitting your head on the ceiling. And at that moment, you're going to fire another rush burner shot, taking out one more fish beyond the point number 4, which is where you should land. And then as you go to the next section, you're going to weapon switch 5 times using the L button if you're using default controls. Also, another alternative is to just simply weapon cancel and hit R 3 times to get the silk shot. But you need silk shot for the next vertical climb coming up. Okay, that was part 1. I've already got the silk shot prepared, and I'm ready for part number 2 of this tutorial. Now, as you see, this image has a lot more visual illustrations, and there's a lot more instruction, because there's a lot more going on as you go up through this section of the stage. So, now, the green line here is X's path going up the first climb. And you'll notice that the line turns red for the descent. So, for instruction number 4, after switching to silk, dash jump and bonk on the ceiling. And that's where that little fire silk here note is. That's where you actually hit your head on the ceiling. And after that, you're going to shoot a silk shot to the right into the wall. We're at the point where you grab the wall. This kills the first enemy so you can climb without stopping. After which, 1 full wall jump while holding left, and then dash jump out of the water to point number 5. Then you fire another silk after the dash jump into the wall where the yellow arrows are, and you're going to take out 2 more wall enemies. The second wall jump, where that second arrow is, it's a 3/4 jump. It's a little bit less than full. So if you do a full jump, you could accidentally hit that enemy. But if you're holding right as you get hit, you'll grab the wall and you won't fall back down. And the white arrow, the white lines, is the silk fragments. When they explode, they travel in an X pattern, which is very convenient because the enemies are diagonally and above where the silk shots hit. So this is there we go. Okay. So this is how you do the climb here. Now you notice that I took out an enemy, the second wall enemy that was under the water as I climbed up. That is strictly optional. You don't have to do that, but if you are uncomfortable with him being there and you just don't want to risk getting hit while you're climbing, feel free to kill him. I mean, it doesn't hurt whatsoever. Now, you notice that last silk shot that I shot, it killed the wall enemy and it killed that little spike dude that was just walking slowly as I paused the game there. Very convenient because he is very annoying. And he will get in the way when you dash off this next ledge. As you notice, after climbing up, dash right off the ledge at point number 6 and fire one more silk into the next spiked wheel, dude. But hold the fire button down to prepare for a rush burner at the bottom of the next chasm. Simply go right and fall into the water, trying, it should say not to hit. I must have had a major typo there, but it should be trying not to hit any of the wall enemies as you go down. And you will have the charged rush burner ready to go once you reach point number 7 on that illustration. So this is how you do the next part. Now for a very important section here. Once you reach point number 7, you should have the charged rush burner ready to use, which in this case it is. Now walk off from point number 7. You don't want to dash, because you have to have your air dash ready to go for this really slick section. You're just going to walk off, air dash, fall just a little, well, you're going to fall just a little, then air dash under that first horizontal moving elevator. Then release the charge burner at point number 9, which is just at the end of that spike chasm, just before you reach that mini platform. And you're going to go flying right under the second horizontal elevator via the charge rush burner. And you're going to end up at point number 10 at the end of that illustration. And that concludes the first part of this Serges tutorial. And I'll show you I'll explain why you're able to avoid not clipping those elevators. Now, the reason why he didn't clip any of the elevators is because when X is standing, his hitbox is orientated vertically, just like the elevators are. There's a little quirkiness with the collision detection. If two vertical hitboxes, like in this case X and the elevator, if they collide with each other enough, X will actually grab it as if it was a wall, and that actually interferes with the elevator skip mechanics that are coming up in the next part. But if he is air dashing, his hitbox is actually tilted vertically, or not vertically, but horizontally. So it's just thin enough. It's kind of like the doors that you enter the boss rooms with. They get turned sideways, and you thread the needle, so to speak. You go under the elevator, but you don't go too far down to where you actually clip that little platform between the spike floors, and you end up grabbing it as a wall. You just go right through, and the charge burner maintains your horizontal hitbox, and you go right under the second one. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to reset and demonstrate this first part in one smooth motion. This first section is very, very intense because there's a lot to do and it goes very, very quickly. This stage is not very long. And I messed that up. So let's try that again. And there you have it. That is the first part of the Serges tutorial.